What's up, nerds? This is Garchu Collector Dan, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video going over the top 10 most expensive cards in my Pokemon card collection 2025 edition. Now, I made this video last year in September 2024, and honestly a lot's changed since then. As I'm sure a lot of you know, prices have gone absolutely crazy on pretty much every card, and I've acquired a lot of cards this past year. I've been able to be very fortunate enough to sell a bunch of cards for a large profit and then roll those into some of my Grail cards you're about to see in front of me. This is also a timely video for me because I'm planning on moving pretty much all these cards into a safe deposit box at a bank. I have collector's insurance as it is, but with some of these values on these cards as of late, I just feel safer doing that. I mean, you're looking at parts of my future house, to be honest with you. That wasn't the plan originally. I'll probably keep some of these the rest of my life, but others, if they appreciate in the way they have in the last year going forward, they're serious assets that I need to eventually realize at some point. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now there's actually 11 cards here, just to preface, because the 3 cards here that are not engraded cards are all tied right around $1,400. We'll start with the pickup I made actually earlier today. The Charizard pre-release Vivid Voltage staff card. Now this pop is only like 376 in a 10, and I got a pretty good price on it today, and I think it's going to do well in the long term. Plus I also really just like Charizard. Vivid Voltage was one of the first sets that I started with when I got back into the hobby. I guess I started with Battle Styles, but Vivid Voltage, I opened a lot of it when I first was getting in, and I really have a strong connection to that set. Really like the chunky Pikachu. I do have that in my collection as well. And yeah, I think it's a good set. I really like this Charizard art. I know it's a half art, but I just think how exclusive like the staff stamp is. 376 in the pop. I really felt like I couldn't go wrong. So yeah, this is going to be a good long-term hold and definitely a nice addition to the Charizard collection. And you're going to see a lot of Charizard in this top 10. There's also valued at $1,400 according to Collector as of today, and that is the base set 2 Charizard PSA 9. Has a nice little half swirl there. I wish there was a little bit more of a swirl on the card. I am looking for a PSA 9 copy that has a full swirl on it, hopefully one day, but for now this will do. Really nice card, and as I mentioned before, I am trying to get just any base set 2 Charizards with swirls on them in any grade. Just anytime I see them, I've actually picked up 2 more today in PSA 5 and PSA 7. So it's going to be my new thing. Hopefully one day I can make a video just showing like 40 base set 2 graded Zards with all the swirls. That'd be really cool. And this is also, I guess, number 9 technically is my first edition Dark Charizard. This one of my favorite cards I own for sure. As I've mentioned in my previous Team Rocket video, I just love where the swirl is, and I think it's truly a one-of-a-kind card. So yeah, I think this is worth a lot more than $1,400, but I'm just going off of collector pricing. So anyway, moving on. Rayquaza V-Max. Now this was in last year's video, and last year this was $530 in September 2024, and now the time of recording, September 2025, it last sold for $1,843. And that's an increase of $1,300 or 248%. So absolutely insane. Looking at that kind of makes me want to sell it, but as I mentioned in the video I made last year, I graded this one myself. I'm really only into it for like $60 plus grading fees, so like $80 because I traded in some bulk at the time, which was worth a lot more than it is now, and bought this raw from a local card shop. So I did really well on this. I don't think I ever want to sell this. I really like this card. I think it's one of the best Rayquaza cards ever, and probably will be for a long, long time. And since I'm into it so cheap, and I really appreciate the art, I don't really see the need unless it goes crazy and goes to like 4,000 or something. Then at that point, I'm sure I have a bunch of other things I could sell as well. All right, so I believe this is number 8, number 7. I don't know. I've already lost count. It's only 11. That's really bad. Crystal Guardians Charizard Delta Species PSA 9 Reverse Holo. Now this card is one of my favorites. I really like it. I saw 2 of them today at the local show. I was at, surprisingly, the guy had 2 of them. I should have brought this because I kind of want to swap it out. As I mentioned last year, the centering isn't my favorite, but it does have no print lines, which is kind of hard to come by for these cards, so really happy with it overall.
yeah, I just love this art so much. This is one of the first big cards I picked up. I spent $600 on it, I believe, in early 2023, and that was like my first like big graded card at the time. I was like, man, like this is so much money to be spending on one card, and it was. But clearly, it's worked out for me, and I've been able to kind of churn and burn a lot of my Pokemon card spending. And yeah, this card last sold for, let's see, 1925. Last year it was in the 2024 video, this time September 2024, for $660. So that's a gain of $1,265 or 192%. So another pretty much double up from last year, which is crazy. Moving on to another card that was in last year's list, another Delta Species Charizard, the Charizard Gold Star PSA 1. Now, I mentioned last year, this was just a find in like an old box of Pokemon toys, just from my childhood. Very, very lucky. One of my friends in, I believe, 3rd grade gave me this because he had 2 Charizard Gold Stars, so he just gave me one. So shout out to you, Matt. I appreciate it a lot, buddy. And this is an iconic card from my childhood. It's PSA 1. It definitely had some love. You can see it there when I'm shining the light. But even just from this distance here, like, doesn't that look great? Like, I know it's a 1. And this, I've said this before about this card, but this makes me want to start collecting 1s because they look really good when they're about a foot from your face. And you get almost all of the same eye appeal as a PSA 9 would. And then you got to get closer and really look at it to see kind of the damage. But super nice card. Last year, this card was, let's see, it was $650 in September 2024. It is now $2,100 pretty much, so an increase of $1,450 or 220%. Absolute crazy gains on this. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? It's a gold star. They're just so iconic. A little piece of advice if you're in 7.5 minutes of this video, and please comment below if you hear this and agree. Delta species are a buy right now. My hot take is that the 30th anniversary brings back Delta species and gold star, so I am buying up any high grade Delta species cards I can find at any of these shows. We'll see if it works out for me, but there you go. There's a play for you. Moving on. I think this is number 5. One of my most nostalgic cards. Actually, the most nostalgic card in my collection. I have a very fond memory of having 2 of these. I mentioned it before. Having a holo and reverse holo, and to this day I now have a holo and reverse holo in PSA 9. This card I originally paid a ton for over market. I paid $1,200 because of the nice swirl. At the time, market was like $900. In last year's video, it was $950, September 2024. It is now $2,280, which is an increase of $1,330 or 140%. Now, again, this card I think is worth more than that significantly because of the nice swirl. I would say, to be honest with you, I'd say this is closer to $3,000, but this is not for sale, and it probably never will be. This is one of my grails of grails, to be honest. I know some people don't really like the CGI Charizard. I guess I'm not a big fan if I was judging it without a bias, but because I have such nostalgia for this card, I'm completely blind to it, and I absolutely adore it. So really glad to have this in my collection. This is going to be in many top 10s to come, I'm sure. All right, number 4, and this is another recent-ish pickup. I picked this up at Kansas City Collecticon in August. My Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 9. Really nice card. Brand new cert. Very clean card. No swirl, unfortunately, but the thing with these cards is they're so hard to get swirl on them just because there's not much holo on this card. That's kind of my one complaint with Blaine's. Like, I think it's a really nice Charizard art, like him spewing fire, but it'd be nice if there was more room for swirls is all. But yeah, this card is worth $2,300 and is the number 4 card on the list. All right. Number 3, Charizard EX Holo from Fire Red Leaf Green. Now this card has a beautiful swirl in the fire. This is probably my favorite card I own. I feel like I've said that a few times in the video, but it's true. I love all these cards so much. This card, I think it was in last year's list. Yeah, it was. It was in last year's list. September 2024, it was $1,700. It now is $3,100, which is a $1,400 increase, or like an 83% increase. Not as significant as the other ones, but still 80% in a year return is not bad. There's another one that's not for sale though. As some of you might know, I did actually swap out. This is not my original copy. I swapped it out at Kansas City for one with a really nice swirl in the fire for like $80 on top, which I think was a really good deal, and really happy with this, and it's not going anywhere, so glad that this is in my collection. All right, number 2, Shining Gyarados First Edition Holo with a beautiful swirl right there coming out of the water. It's like a bit of a wave. That's what I thought when I saw the card, and I just absolutely love this card. I guess this is, again, one of my favorites. I mean, you guys know I love swirls, and this is like an absolute grail with a swirl in a beautiful spot. So, yeah, just let it speak for itself for a minute. But, yeah, this card, picked it up at Chicago Collecticon last year. I believe it was like $2,200. It was like mostly trade, and then I threw in like $700-800 on top. So it worked out pretty well. This card now is worth $4,000. It just missed the cut from last year's video because I picked it up, I believe, the month after. But anyway, super nice card. And then the number 1 card that I guess is close to number 2 is this Umbreon Neo Discovery, the original rookie card of Umbreon. This one, it's going to be hard to show on camera, but it has Holo Bleed on it. I guess you can kind of see it in his ear there. But it has a full swirl inside the Umbreon. It's like a heartbeat. That's what I like to think of it as. So I think it's a very unique card. As soon as I saw that swirl Holo Bleed, I knew I needed to have it. It's not going to pick up on camera, and it's even hard to see in person sometimes. You really have to have the right light, but it's definitely there, which I think makes it really special. It's like a hidden swirl. I mean, obviously, I'd love to have like a full little swirl, I guess maybe in his tail, or the moon doesn't look like it has holo, but if you get like a moon swirl, that'd be cool. But yeah, Umbreon's rookie card, picked it up at Fort Lauderdale Collecticon in March. I believe I paid $2,400. I think this last sold yesterday. It had like a visible swirl on it though, so like I take that with a little grain of salt. But I think it sold for like $4,600. So nice little come up there just in the last few months. But this one is not for sale. One, I just absolutely love it. Recently become a big Evolution fan. Have not yet to pick up my Umbreon. It's now almost $4,000. I saw a couple today, but I don't know. I'm hesitating. I feel like $4,000's a lot. Like let's get it back to 3, and then I'll pull the trigger. But well, who knows? Anyway, a little bit of a tangent there, but. Yeah, I think this card is easily a $10,000 card, if not more. I mean, look at the Charizard First Edition PSA 9 going for like $45. I know it's much more iconic, but this, I think people argue nowadays, is like one of the mascots of Pokemon, and I don't see why this couldn't be a $10,000 card. I mean, the pop is, I believe, less than the First Edition Charizard. I think it's like $200-300 in a 9. I think the 10 pop's like 100 something. I'm kind of pulling that out of my ass. But anyway, the point is like something like this, I think really has a lot of room to run as the hobby continues to grow. And I think Umbreon's going to be one of the more popular Pokemons for the long run. So we'll see. If this goes absolutely crazy, maybe I could sell it. But right now, I just love it so much. I'm so glad to own it. Anyway, guys, that's the top 10. Thanks so much for watching. And if you made it to the end, please leave a thumbs up emoji in the comments. Why, I don't really know. But I really appreciate the supports, appreciate the likes, appreciate the comments. And yeah, I guess the last thing I just want to say is,
This video is not me trying to like flex or anything. Like, this is really just me showing off my collection and just kind of have a good gauge of what the big hitters in my collection are year after year going forward. This is just going to be an annual series. Even if the cards drop in value 90%, I'd still be making this video. If the cards go up like 10x, then I might retire. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Take care.